What's going on, everybody? This is Afro Think Tank. I'm in the truck. I actually did this video earlier today, but then when I went back to listen to it, the audio was so jacked up, it was no way I could use it. I'm like, damn, I gotta say that all over again. Good thing I talk a lot, right? So what I want to talk about today is business ideas. I'm just throwing it out there for those of you who are brainstorming, because I'm called Afro Think Tank. And if you don't know what a think tank is, think tanks are organizations where people get together and they think about problems, they try to solve them, they try to come up with solutions. That's what they do, right? So I'm always thinking about ideas that I know I'm not going to be able to do myself, because I can't do everything. I'm one person, right? So here's one idea that I think African Americans could do in Africa that would benefit themselves and the people on the ground. Because the thing is, we're Pan-Africans, right? Well, for the Pan-Africans, the ones who want to go to Africa and actually do something. Now, if you are the type that want to go to Africa and you just want to like have a good time, learn the culture and enjoy and just kind of like, if that's you, this is not the video for you. This is for the aspiring African American or African diasporan entrepreneur that have the Pan-African ideology, right? And they want to go over to Africa with the specific purpose of doing something that's going to benefit a community. Because the thing is, Pan-Africanism, it requires you to be selfish. Not to be selfish, basically. Pan-Africanism requires you to be selfless, and it requires you to do things to help a community. It's a community way of thinking. It's not an individualistic way of thinking, right? Like in America, we have some people, they're individualistic, meaning they do everything is on your own. They don't care about nobody else. As long as they get paid, they fine. And there's plenty of African Americans who are not Pan-African, who are not pro-black per se, and they'll go to Africa and do business simply because they know that Africa, just on a business standpoint, is a great market to do business, period. And they're doing that, right? But Pan-Africanism is totally different. Pan-Africanism, in order to be a Pan-African, you're basically saying, I'm willing to sacrifice individualistic goals, not completely, but I'm willing to sacrifice the full-throated individual pursuit of money and power and influence and all that stuff in order to benefit my community. Meaning the community is bigger than the person, right? So if you're going to Africa as a Pan-African, inspiring Pan-African business owner, you want to create a business that's going to enrich yourself and that's going to also enrich the people around you in Africa. Because if you go to Africa, whatever country you operate in, if you don't benefit the people, then you're doing the same thing the colonizers are doing. You're just going there, taking a piece of the pie and rolling out and just benefiting yourself, right? So far, us African Americans, as we started to go over there, there's certain businesses that a lot of them are getting into. They're getting into the travel business, right? Travel tourism. There's a lot of African Americans doing travel tourism. Now, travel tourism is a business that is good for African Americans because it does help facilitate those African Americans and African diasporans who wouldn't go to Africa on their own accord, right? Most of us will go to Europe on our own accord. We'll go to Dubai, we go to the Middle East on our own accord. But the stigma of Africa and the propaganda that white people have pushed into our heads over the last couple hundred years has made it so by default, most African Americans are just definitely afraid of Africa. They just are, right? And they haven't got it out of their minds that the things that they learned is propaganda, right? So travel tourism companies are good because it creates a situation in which they feel like they're going with a group. They feel safety in numbers. And then when they get there, they'll figure out, oh, this place is not anything like they told me on TV. And then after that, they can, most of them will probably just travel on their own, right? But there are other businesses that I think we need to start thinking about getting into that will not only pay us big dividends, it will give us a share of a market that's wide open. When I say market is wide open, meaning there is barely any competition at all. So there's lots and lots and lots and lots of demand, right? Lots of demand, no supply. Okay? So one idea I had that a couple African Americans with a little bit of money can go do is, for example, 3D printing shops, right? If you were to get you and a couple of your buddies, right, y'all open up a 3D printing shop, right? Maybe like a 3D printing factory, but your own business form factor, right? Let's say you got 30, 40, you can start off with 10, 15, 20 3D printing machines, right? And you charge people to come in and use those 3D printing machines. Now, I advise using the 3D printing machines that use plastic filament. And there's a reason for that, right? The reason why I think we should use plastic filament 3D printing machines is because it kills another bird with the same stone. Because a lot of African countries, they don't have the same sanitation companies as we do. They don't have a robust network. So there's lots of plastic laying around. There's a lot of recyclable material that could be, recycled and repurposed, right? And just so happens that you can make your own filament for 3D printing by utilizing, soda bottles, plastic bottles, things like that. Just so happens in Africa, there's plenty of Coca-Cola, Sprite bottles all over the place. You can collect to make your own filament, right? To use for the 3D printing machines. Now, peep the game. I'm only using this as an example. Like I said, I made this video earlier, so I'm gonna try to make this one shorter, right? By making this one example. So you go over there, you open up a 3D printing shop. You're gonna make money because people, when they see it, they're gonna be like, oh, what is that? Oh, that's a 3D printing. Let me go in there, let me check it out. Oh, wow, they have a whole bunch of 3D printing machines in here. I wonder if I can use them. Oh, how much does it cost? You'll have your price points of how you do it, whether you're renting out for a block of time, however your method for renting out the use of the 3D printing machines, whether in block or individualistically, it will inspire and give other people on the ground an opportunity to start their own businesses based off your business. So you'll give them the opportunity to produce and manufacture, things 3D printing wise to make products that they can sell, right? Right. So that's one way. But how else can we boost this up? How else can we boost this business idea, right? On the same vein, within the same business, you can also add computers, right? So let's say you have the 3D printers and then you have the computers, right? So that people can go and they can make 3D models on the computer, right? They can use whatever programs that they use or that you provide for them to make 3D renders or to print out their 3D renders or however that works, so they can transfer that data to the machines in order to print out what they want to print out. So you're providing, right? You're providing the tools necessary for people to run their own personal businesses by providing the computer so they can operate effectively and providing the machine so they can make the products. Then a third thing you can do, right? And we're going to go back to this plastic filament, right? You can literally make it, you can just make a sign. Hey, we're paying this amount of money for this many bags of soda cans, right? Soda bottles, plastic soda bottles, right? That will inspire, most individuals to go out and do a side hustle, to go out here and fill up bags and bags and bags of plastic bags, bring them to you, right? Which is the material you need to make the filament, right? And you pay them money, and they'll do that. So you can have people doing that. So you'll create side hustles for individuals just by offering to buy plastic bottles, right? So that cleans up, that perpetuates the cleaning of the neighborhood, right? So that's one business that you start based off your business. Then of course you got the computers and making the 3D printing thing. That's another business, right? Then you can add things like CNC machines, right? Metal cutting machines in the same vein as 3D printing, but get machines that create metal products, right? So you can make metal parts for cars, for brackets, for tables, for chairs, so that you give them the opportunity to be able to create things, and the things that we enjoy here in the West, right? If you go over there to Africa and you're providing 3D printing machines, you're providing CNC machines so that cuts metal, right? You're providing maybe laser cut machines so they can engrave, right? You're providing all the support items, right, for other people to run their businesses based off your business. You're gonna make money off the rent of your off the equipment. You're gonna make money off the filament, because people will be buying their filament from you, because they're going out. You're paying people to go out to get these plastic bottles. You make the filament, and you just added value to that plastic again, that plastic material again, and then you sell that. You know, so that's another stream of income. And anything else you can put in there to offset. Shit, you throw a goddamn little restaurant in that bitch. I mean, this is Africa. We can do what we want, right? You got a barbecue right next to the goddamn 3D printing shop if you want, all right? I'm just saying, you know, there's no restrictions. This is Africa. We black, right? You can do that, right? So what I'm saying is, if African Americans who are Pan-African and Black Caribbeans who are Pan-African, if you go to Africa and you just think about businesses that create other businesses, you will benefit the local economy along with yourself, right? All it requires is for you to not be greedy, because the money is there, right? The money is there. But you got to understand, when starting a business, when you start a real business, right? So it takes 10, 15, 20 years to be solidified, to really like be bogged down and solidified, right? To get going. You know, we live in this Instagram age where everybody wants to start a business in 6 months, be a millionaire, riding around the Bugatti, going to the Maldives and shit on vacation. That's what they think. That's what they want. They want all the benefits of business, but they don't want to do none of the hard work. They don't want to spend none of the time, right? To be a successful business person, you got to have patience, right? You got to have patience. That's number one. And after that, you got to have patience. And then you got to be smart, right? You got to have good business partners, right? But that's up to y'all, you know. Just like any place else, you be careful when it comes to business partners. And here's something. Here's real plain for you African Americans that curious about how you can work with your African brothers and sisters over there. Like, how would it be? Listen, black people are black people. That's one thing I love about black people. We black people anywhere you go. The same mannerisms that you see here in the African American community, the same mannerisms that you see when you go to the Caribbean, because y'all African Americans know goddamn well when you go to the Caribbean, the only difference is the accent and some of the food, some of the ingredients in the food. Other than that, we just as home in the Caribbean as we is down here. And when the Caribbeans, they come to America, they come in the black community because they live here with us, right? Ain't no goddamn difference besides damn macaroni and cheese. Y'all got macaroni pie, we got macaroni and cheese. And for the record, y'all know African Americans make the best macaroni and cheese, right? Nobody wants to see us with that. Like, I'm just saying. I mean, I want problems always when it comes to that. But anyway, you know, so when you go to Africa, even though the culture you may not be 100% familiar with, right? It's different to you. It's foreign to you, obviously, because it was stolen from you. But remember, it belongs to you. And your personality and the way you are comes from them. Therefore, it's expected. And you should expect that the mannerisms and how Africans are is consistent with how you are as an African American or African diaspora, wherever you are. So doing business is doing business. Black folks is black folks, right? They over there, they the same as us. Some of them, they just wearing their traditional outfits sometimes. And most of the time they're not. They're wearing the same shit we wearing. From the same companies that we buy clothes from. They watch the same stuff, doing the same stuff. They just got an accent. That's it, right? And a lot of them, and you know, and a few things, but you know what I mean. So other than that, that would be a great business to pop off in Nigeria. That'd be a great business to pop off in Ghana, in any African country, to be honest, right? Think about all the little industries, especially these new tech industries, because listen, guys, we are going towards the future, right? And if you're not up on the future, if you're not up on robotics, if you're not up on the latest and greatest AI technology, AGI technology that's on the pipeline, if you're not up with that, you're gonna get left behind. And the thing is, Africa, especially, you know, as I see West Africa, they are poised. They're jumping right into that stuff, because during the analog days, which we, you know, got to enjoy a lot of the amenities that we have, you know, we got to enjoy analog while some of them were joining the analog days. They were going through some shit, you know, colonization, you know, and they were going purposeful destruction of their governments and countries, as we still see now. Well, the white Western world is attempting to do so. But as you see Africa's rising up, people got money now. There's people who got money. I know you see a lot of people fleeing these countries, but those are the people that ain't got no money. People got money. There's people fleeing America. You know that, right? There's people leaving America because it sucks here as far as they're concerned. So every country got that going on. You know, everybody thinks it's better somewhere else. But just in our case, you know, it is better at home than it is here, because this is not home for African people. I know we keep forgetting that because we've been here for so long, but it's not home, right? And we get reminded of that all the time. But anyway, my Pan-Africans, think about those type of businesses, right? Like, for instance, here's another business that can spur from that business. Drones. Drones is a big, big, big deal. You can do a lot of things with drones, especially in agriculture, in security, and all sorts of things. If you got a 3D shop and you got a CNC machines, you can literally, you have everything you need there to produce and manufacture drones. So somebody may start a drone company based off your company that gives them the capability to produce and manufacture all the parts necessary for a drone, right? And so now you got a drone company that came out of your company. Now you got a plastic recycling company that's businesses that gather plastics and sell it to companies like us who will reuse that plastic and add value back into it. I mean, there's so many different things when it comes to doing businesses that cater to businesses that we can do, you know, as a group of people that would effectively work, that will effectively make it so we're all benefiting. So that we don't have that colonizer, we don't go over there emulating the colonizer. We don't have to do what the colonizer does. We don't have to do that. We can do our own thing the way we want to do it, right? And that's all I really want to say. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up because I got my point across. But yes, guys, Pan-Africans, start thinking about those type of businesses. Businesses that will start other businesses, and that would probably be the most Pan-African thing that you will ever do in your entire life. Anyway, that's all I got to say. It's Afro Think Tank. Learn some, teach some. I'm out.